Oh, welcome into Mornings on Main Street. How are we feeling? Are we tired this morning? I got to tell you, if you're just waking up with this and missed the football game last night, it was one of the most epic football games ever played at Nissan Stadium since they arrived in 1999. We'll get into it all this morning as Terry McCormick from Titan Insider will join us at 7:10 with more that's happening. But I got to tell you what, my friends, last night the Tennessee Titans beat the Buffalo Bills 34-31. They had a goal line stand, last play of the game for the Bills, like 20 seconds left to go in the game. They tried to sneak it in on fourth down from the 2-yard line, needed half a yard, maybe not even that. And they ran over Jeffrey Simmons, and he stopped him. He blew up the play. The Titans win last night. One of the truly best games you'll ever see at Nissan Stadium as the Titans beat the top team in the National Football League. And just what an environment to see it on TV and the crowd. It was sold out for the first time in a long time, over 69,000 at Nissan Stadium. Looking in, watching it, there were times that I was speechless. And my friends, Derrick Henry last night was absolutely amazing. He had a touchdown run, 76 yards, I think. I've never seen a man that big, that fast run like that in my life. And it's like somebody sped him up as he ran past the Buffalo Bills. So Titans get the win 34-31. They're now 4-2. They'll move on and take on the look. They get 24 hours to enjoy it because come to town on Sunday, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. So what a great win last night. We'll get into all that this morning. All right, fun show for you. You see the scroll in the bottom there. We have Terry McCormick that's coming your way. We've got Miss Cheap is going to join us too at 7:30. And there's a big play happening in town. Community theaters really come back in full force in our area. And there's a play happening at the Larry Keaton Theater in Donaldson called On Golden Pond. And Danny Proctor, one of the actors, great local actor, will join us at 7:20 to talk about that. At 7:40, we're going to give you guys something to smile about, brought to you by DeltaDentalTN.com, of an event that happened yesterday that really made us smile. And then, of course, the internals join me at 7:50 for our finish up the show for our celebrity birthdays, which, by the way, is taking off. So well done. Let's bring in the intern this morning who went to bed early last night. Intern, why'd you go to bed early?
I didn't mean to go to bed early. I was just a little bit tired, but I tried to stay up and watch the Titans after the first half, but I just couldn't do it.
I thought you young kids stayed up to like 1 or 2 in the morning.
No, not this young kid. No, I'm an old soul, Joe.
You're an old soul last night. Hey, let's pull up the Titan Insider page right now. We'll show you it's part of the Main Street Nashville, Main Street Media umbrella that we have here. And a great article by Terry McCormick. Goal line stand saves Titans versus Bills. You can go there to, again, all the Main Street Media, TN.com. You can see that. It's off the Main Street Nashville page. And just great, that right there, goal line stand saves Titans versus Bills. Click on it. Terry was at the game last night. He'll join us at 7:10, again, with more on the Titans' big win last night. An epic thing. And Nashville, my friends, was trending nationwide last night. So well done to everybody that was watching the game last night. I was at the game around the country. So way to go, Nashville. We'll put more on that. Come on, Terry McCormick. Intern, let's go to the main page of Main Street Nashville this morning. The latest headlines for you coming straight to you every day. If you're not part of the MainStreetNashville.com, you need to go there and subscribe and see what's happening. You see right there in the middle, Miss Cheap, 21 ways to save at the grocery store. She'll join us at 7:30. She is so loved. You just mentioned the name Miss Cheap, and everybody knows who you're talking about. So you'll see Miss Cheap will join us at 7:30 every Tuesday. Her articles appear in Main Street Nashville, and you can see it. And we'll talk to Miss Cheap this morning about what's happening and what's going on there. All the major headlines for you right there. And on the left side, you see the things as Blood Assurance nonprofit keeps growing across Middle Tennessee. That's the story that we had last Friday. Max Winnitz from Blood Assurance joined us about a blood drive they were having, and where you could, the critical shortage of blood around our area and how you could donate and help out. And they had a big blood drive last week, 2 weeks ago, actually, for the wife of a Williamson County sheriff's detective who was who's battling leukemia. She's doing well, I hear. Praise the Lord. So I hope she keeps fighting and winning this battle. So you'll see that there. So then go to that page and see all the latest headlines we'll give you every morning right here on Mornings on Main Street as well. So yeah, big night for the Tennessee Titans and everything that happened for them. So it was really cool to see that last night. Weather, intern, bring you back in here again. All right, I've told you about October and the weather and how great things are. And the weather this week is simply fantastic. Now, intern, we spent time on the golf course yesterday. I don't recall a prettier and more relaxing day than the time we spent the golf course yesterday.
No, I agree. It was a beautiful course. I love the course in the mornings, and it was really nice. It's a very nice course there.
We're at Hermitage, and then that's our something to smile about later on at 7:40 as we bring things in. All right, so intern, we're going to talk to Terry McCormick at 7:10 to get things done. Now, will you be going to the Titans game on Sunday versus the Chiefs?
I want to. I really do. Me and my dad talked about it. One thing from last night, I love the defense. I've been growing up on Samari Roll, Keith Bullock, Javon Curse. So to see that Kevin Byard snatch that interception from Josh Allen, I'd love to see Mahomes take a beating like that.
That'll happen on Sunday, according to the wishes of the intern. Now, I don't know if you got a chance to see all the pictures of the Bills fans around town. My daughter and her fiance came up, and they went to the game last night from Mississippi. We went to Opry Mills for lunch yesterday. And intern, I got to tell you, I've never seen so many Buffalo Bills fans. In fact, I've never seen that many fans of opposing team come to Nashville since 1999. I mean, they were absolutely everywhere. And here's the good part, is that they flooded our restaurants, they flooded our hotels, they spent lots of money. Good. And now you go home.
Right. I agree with that. I remember when the Raiders would come to town, they also have a pretty good showing, but I agree. The more revenue we can have coming into Nashville from other people's pockets, bring it on.
Yeah. I also, it's funny, go back to the NFL draft of 2019. Did you go downtown for that?
No, I didn't. I actually steered clear of that just because I've run into downtown Nashville on big events like New Year's and stuff, and I just can't do the shoulder-to-shoulder stuff.
What's your problem, man? So when I tell people for the draft, the more the Bone fan base that came downtown, the more fans that I saw of one team were the San Francisco 49er fans. That was amazing for the draft, how many 49er fans were around. And we did some live stuff on TV, and they were everywhere. So to see Bills fans outnumber the 49er fans here for the draft, that was something else. But what a night. And I'm just glad, our economy needed that. And so if they come to town, spend money, and eat the restaurants and tip the servers well and the bartenders, I'm all for that, because that looks really good and helps our city out in so many ways after such a tough year in 2020. And I'll tell you this, intern, last night when the broadcast crew was talking about hanging out on Broadway on Sunday night and going to Tootsie's, and you always talk about a Chamber of Commerce moments. I was like, that's a Chamber of Commerce moment. What is a Chamber of Commerce moment? Well, it's when a broadcast crew on national TV just goes crazy for your city, and they're talking about going to Tootsie's and the music and everything else. That's pretty solid, intern.
I like that. Yeah, that's cool. I told my dad last night I love the fact that we're on Monday night, because analysts and ESPN, all those sports stations have to talk about the Titans today.
They do have to talk about that. All right, let's take our break now. On the other side, Terry McCormick joins us. 7:20, Danny Proctor will be here about community theater. A big play that's happening at the Larry Keaton Theater in Donaldson, and they always sell those plays out. We'll get the latest from Danny Proctor, a very talented local actor, community theater. 7:30, Miss Cheap will join us. You are watching Mornings on Main Street.
Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. How was that? That fast part, the end felt rushed. I'm going to do it one more time, Claire. Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. Ooh, how was that? Claire, that sound about right? It felt good to me. She feels me. Nobody trashes Tennessee on my watch.
Well, I came up with the name. We threw around some ideas, but I just, some people at the beginning said that they thought cheap had a sort of negative connotation, but I didn't. I wanted it to be fun. I didn't want it to be something that was like, a Spartan lifestyle that I was promoting. I wanted it to be that you could save money, but you could still have a quality life and have a good time.
Is your roof in need of repairs? Maybe it's time for a full roof replacement. If so, choose Middle Tennessee's #1 rated roofer. Tim Leeper Roofing has provided the Nashville area with outstanding residential and commercial services for nearly 2 decades. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews, Tim Leeper Roofing has satisfied thousands of homeowners. To schedule a free and honest estimate, find us online at timleeperroofing.com.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Ryan. I'm the co-owner of Zaxby's along with Lee Oliver. This is a place that mamas and daddies can be really comfortable to send their kids to for a first job. It's a place that you can have fun, feel really good about the place that you work, get paid well, have a good time. If you want to apply, you can go to applynow.com and Zaxby's will be on there. We love it when we get some great folks here at Zaxby's.
Shout out to the Morning on Main Street band over there. You guys sounded great again. Appreciate you. All right, let's waste no time, intern. Let's bring in Terry McCormick from TitanInsider.com. Terry, how much sleep did you get? 3 hours?
Oh, maybe about 4.5, 5 hours.
All right, let's get right to it, man. Goal line stand last night. What a game. What an atmosphere. Titans with a big win. To say we saw that coming, some might have, but what a game. What a game by the Titans, Terry. They were dropping left and right and still managed to win the game. Congratulations to them.
Oh, absolutely. They played really well. I mean, you brought it up. They lost like 5 guys that left the game and did not return. And there's talk that a couple of those guys may be out for the year with knee injuries. Caleb Farley, Cam Batson, both their injuries look pretty serious. Obviously, Taylor Lewan being carted off with a concussion and that was done as a precaution. So, that next man up mentality, I know it sounds cliche and we get tired of hearing Mike Vrabel preach it, but it was actually true last night because they were really down to the bare bones there at the end.
Terry, talk about the stadium, the environment, the atmosphere. My daughter was there and she said she'd never experienced or seen anything like that.
Well, it was a really crazy atmosphere. And yeah, there was a lot of royal blue, a lot of Bills fans there. Probably about a fourth of the stadium was clad in Buffalo colors, but the Titans fans that were on hand certainly made their presence felt. And especially at the end, you could hear them chanting as they left the stadium after the Titans had pulled off the win.
4th down, Titans have to stop. Josh Allen, prolific offense, NFL. Were you surprised that they called a quarterback sneak to Jeffrey Simmons' side?
Yeah, I was a little surprised at that. And certainly Jeffrey Simmons was up to the challenge. A little surprised that Sean McDermott just didn't kick a field goal and play for overtime and make the safe play there. But he trusted his offense and he trusted Josh Allen. Now, if it had been me, I think I would have gotten Josh Allen on the edge with a run pass option. I'm not a huge fan of trying to just drive it up into the middle of the pile in situations like that. But I guess that was the safe play. But the Titans managed to blow it up and come away with the victory.
We're going to pull your article up there on Titan Insider. Goal line stand saves Titans versus Bills. In your wildest dreams, Terry, did you think you'd be writing that headline?
No, I really didn't. But you know something? This team kind of has a knack for those goal line stands. You know, they did it against the Chargers a couple of years ago. They did it last week against Jacksonville. And in those short yardage situations, their defensive line seems to get good push and good penetration, and they're able to get the job done. It's quite fascinating. And Joe, as you know, with these Titans, we've come to kind of expect the unexpected. They win when they're not supposed to. They lose when they're not supposed to. And last night they were back on a winning track.
Yeah, Terry, one thing I love about your article is it's not so much X's and O's, but stories that you tell. And I really appreciate you doing that because X's and O's, when you do a game recap, you get lost and this and that. So great story last night. And we've got it up right now on Mornings on Main Street. But Derrick Henry, Terry, and again, we've been around football a long time. I've never seen a man run that fast, that big. I know we say it every week, but my goodness, that run last night was amazing.
Yeah, the numbers he's putting up this year are ridiculous. No running back that's ever run for 2,000 yards has ever done it a second time. My goodness, he already has 783 yards through 6 games. I ran the numbers last night. That projects to 2,218 yards over the new 17-game season, which obviously would shatter Eric Dickerson's record for a single season of 2105. Joe, I know it's a quarterback-driven league, and Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford is probably going to walk away with the MVP at the end of the year. But how many guys are really more valuable to their team and do more for their team than what Derrick Henry does for Tennessee?
That's a great point. I shudder to think what this team would be like have they not have Derrick Henry on the team, because nobody could do that. I mean, even a good running back in the league could not do what he's doing. And Terry, have we ever seen him on the injury report? I know there's little bumps and bruises, but as far as he might not play on Sunday, I don't recall seeing him on an injury report like that.
Well, there was one time in 2019 when he had the bad hamstring. They held him out in a game against the New Orleans Saints that for some reason in week 15 or 16 didn't have any bearing on their playoff hopes, whether they won it or lost it. They held him out to rest that bulky hamstring that he had. And then he came back with a vengeance the next week, put them in the playoffs, and then ran wild on the Patriots and the Ravens in the AFC playoffs that year when the Titans went from a 6th seed to the AFC title game.
That's right. Remember that very well. Let's talk about Ryan Tannehill, however you say his name right now, for what, when things weren't going well last night, he stood in the pocket and he delivered. I'm a big Tannehill fan, Terry, just for the simple fact of a lot of his weapons are gone. He's still out there playing his tail off. Yeah.
And kudos to the offensive line last night. 0 sacks after he'd been sacked 20 times in 5 games. And, wasn't the greatest of starts for Ryan Tannehill. I think he was 1 of 6 for 11 yards to begin the game. But then he found a groove with A.J. Brown in the second half and really got this offense going. And Henry's presence there on running the ball opened up things for play action and a big second half for Tannehill and A.J. Brown.
So they get to celebrate this game, for a couple more hours, because who comes to town on Sunday, Terry?
Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So,
wow.
They've been a little bit up and down this year, but certainly one of the most dangerous teams in the league.
When do you think we'll find out the latest on the injuries for the guys?
I think you'll probably find out something today on a couple of them. It'll be interesting to see, what they do roster-wise, because they're probably going to need a cornerback. They may need another offensive lineman, because remember, Ty Sambrailo suddenly retired last week, and he was your top backup to Taylor Lewan. So they may need some help roster-wise. John Robinson's going to have to do some digging around.
Do they get a day off this week? Because normally their day off's on Tuesday.
Yeah, they will try and give them today off just to relax, recuperate. There may be a little bit of what they call a shakeout to come in and do a little stretching and things like that. But they'll try to get back in the groove on Wednesday and make this as normal a week as possible, even though they lost today.
Terry, again, great job, man. I appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you next Monday, hopefully after another Titans win. So we'll see. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, Terry McCormick, Titan Insider. And Terry's been around a long time. I've known Terry for 20 years or so, and just a great job of covering the Titans. And no fluff, just great stories, what he puts there for everybody to see on Titan Insider. All right, we'll come back. We'll take a break for the Titans talk. We'll talk about a big event happening, or a big play happening this weekend. Community Theater at the Larry Keaton Theater. Danny Proctor will join us as a premiere on Golden Pond this weekend. That's all next, right here on Mornings on Main Street.
We now have breaking news.
Okay. Hello. Thank you all for coming. Wow. More showed up than I originally thought. I am Red Plastic Cup. Hello. The star of the upcoming show, Talking Trash. The show that's going to end littering in Tennessee. I'm getting paid for this, right? Now, our mission is threefold. End littering, keep Tennessee beautiful, and win an Emmy. And I look forward to getting to know each other. I can't wait to introduce you to my co-stars. They are real trash. Let's go ahead and take some questions. Hello? That's it for now, guys.
Thank you, and good night.
I'm sure we'll have many more of these down the road.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good. After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Thank you again to Terry McCormick for joining us this morning as the Titans' big win last night over the Buffalo Bills. If you missed it, well, you missed a heck of a game. And there's been epic games that have happened in downtown at Nissan Stadium throughout the years, and that right in last night's game ranks up there. And all the Buffalo Bill fans in town, the electric atmosphere that's happening. So just a lot of really cool things. Yesterday, the intern and myself went out to a very special event taking place at the Hermitage Golf Course. On last Friday, we had on Tiffany Wondrow from ifmanashville.com. They're a facilities management group, a corporation. They do a lot of good in the community. So yesterday they had a golf tournament, and they raised a lot of money for Canines for Warriors, and just a really cool event. And so many people out there. It was a sold-out golf tournament, this guy's having fun, girls having fun out there at Hermitage Golf Course. It was a beautiful day, and it was just to see people come together for a great cause. And I tell you guys all the time, other people will tell you how bad the world is. I'm here to tell you how great the world is. And I've never seen so much love and community spirit that I've seen in the last couple of years, despite what you're hearing elsewhere. We see it every day. So this is our Something to Smile About, brought to you by Delta Dental. Delta Dental of Tennessee now offering dental and vision plans for groups and individuals. Learn more at deltadentaltn.com. Here's something to smile about. Every day around America, there are thousands of golf tournaments taking place, benefiting some wonderful organizations and amazing charities. And on Monday, October the 18th, at the Hermitage Golf Course, they had the exact same thing going on. A golf tournament benefiting some wonderful people and for a great cause.
So basically today what we have is a non-for-profit organization called IFMA, which we're facility managers, and we are out here raising funds for Canines for Warriors. I'm a veteran for the United States Marine Corps, and I'm a former facility manager that has now come to, jokingly, the dark side as a painting company. And we thought, how can we give back to people that we normally don't give back to? Normally the funds from these kind of events goes back to the organization, but today we decided we're going to donate all of our proceeds. So our proceeds are Canines for Warriors today.
Why Canines for Warriors?
Well, as a veteran, it's very particular to me because I believe that all of our veterans that have served in tour situations come back with PTSD, or as we call now, just trauma. And so everyone's trauma is differently. And Canines for Warriors, who's the #1 service dog provider in the whole United States, they go to a high-kill shelter. They find a dog, they get that dog, they pair him up with a veteran, and we say that we got 2 leashes on life now, the veteran and the dog.
Today's sold out?
Today's sold out. We've got lots of sponsorships. Every hole has a sponsor. I'm also a sponsor out here as a commercial painting company with my son Hayden, who's down there working it very well. But the idea was to raise as much funds as we could to try to get 1 dog. I'm so happy to announce that not only do we have 1 dog, but we're able to probably give another $10,000 above that.
Wow.
1 dog is $25,000. And people are like, well, why is that so expensive? We spend 3 months making sure the dog is a service provider dog. Then we spend 6 months getting that dog trained for the veteran. Then the last 3 months are with that veteran, which is all expenses paid. So you cannot just discount a nonprofit that does such amazing things like that.
Isn't it great seeing all these people be part of this with you and helping you out?
It is, it is. These are all people that I network with. They're my clients, they're my friends. And so to see them come out, I've got everyone from my insurance guy to my personal financial guy out here today, but all of the other people that I network with. Andy Moon, he's an amazing guy. He's the one that really helped go after the bag of cash for us. That's the money at the end of the day that we're going for drawings. Brian Anderson is our president. Becca, who is amazing, has put all of this together along with Hermitage. We thank them for all of their help today.
Fantastic. Tiffany, thank you so much. And IFMA Nashville for what you do and the money you raised yesterday. Such a great call, such a great place. Something to smile about, brought to you by Delta Dental of Tennessee, now offering dental and vision plans for groups and individuals. Please visit deltadentaltn.com. We'll try to bring you as many something to smile about stories as we can each week to get things going, get you excited and get you fired up and give you something to smile about in the world that's happening there. All right, we're going to take a little quick break here. Danny Proctor's going to come on at 7:40. Now, Miss Cheap, we all love Miss Cheap. Miss Cheap, Mary Hance will join us next, and she's got articles that come out every Tuesday in Main Street, Nashville. And this week she has one on how you can save money at the grocery store. And I told you guys again, when I mentioned that Miss Cheap was coming on this past weekend, people love her. I mean, she has a brand which is unbelievable, and we're so excited and so happy that she's with here on Mornings on Main Street, coming your way every Tuesday at 7:30. All right, we'll take another break and come back with Miss Cheap with some great stuff for you. That's next right here on Mornings on Main Street.
I guess I started writing in high school with my high school newspaper and continued to do that in college. But again, I've been writing almost 50 years. I guess I'm semi-retired, but I don't know what else I would do if I weren't working on two or three stories every week. And that's what I love to do. I love to talk to ordinary people who have extraordinary stories to tell. That is my passion. And I like to help them share their stories with you, the reader.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Cover your name, sir. You are right now?
Well, I've been here, and I'm a part of it. My kids went to local schools. It's a big deal to me. Well, it can be interesting at times because I've settled a lot of bar bets late at night. Phone rings and well, who played wide receiver at Mount Juliet in what year? And I don't know everything. I don't make claim to know everything, but I know where to look to find a lot of that information.
Is your roof in need of repairs? Maybe it's time for a full roof replacement. If so, choose Middle Tennessee's #1 rated roofer. Tim Leeper Roofing has provided the Nashville area with outstanding residential and commercial services for nearly 2 decades. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews, Tim Leeper Roofing has satisfied thousands of homeowners. To schedule a free and honest estimate, find us online at timleeperroofing.com.
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Behind the scenes, it's fantastic here. Just fantastic. A lot of things, good things that are happening here. And I love the little vignettes we run with all the great writers that are part of the Main Street Media team that we have for you all the time. You can see their articles, and honored to be, humbled to be part of that with Tommy Bryan and with Miss Cheap and with Ken Beck and Larry Woody. I do not deserve to be mentioned in the same breath with any of them, So I'm glad that we're all part of the same team. All right, intern, let's spin a little thing here. Miss Cheap is not on yet, but let's go to Danny Proctor. If Danny's on there. Danny, good morning to you, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for rolling with us this morning here on Mornings on Main Street. Okay. All right, Danny. Talented local actor, community theater, Big Plate Larry Keaton Theater coming this weekend on Golden Pond. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But, you know, Danny, after the pandemic and no shows are going on, no community theater, now that it's back, I personally, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, have this renewed respect and this admiration for all you guys do. Is it just me, or do you feel it as well?
It's been ridiculously hard. I've done the Bell Witch play, Spirit, with Community Spirit up in Adams, Tennessee for 10 years. I started in 2009, actually. But for the last 2 years, we haven't been able to hold the Bell Witch Fall Festival because of social distancing. And we would have lost a lot of money if we had to spread people out, and because it will have thousands there sometimes. And I love that show, and I love that story of the Bell Witch and the Adams area. It's a wonderful place. We're going to do it next year for sure, but it just is hard, and people don't understand, and they get upset that we cancel. And I almost died from COVID in December. I was in the hospital, and they said had I not come in, I wouldn't have lived through the night. And so
Danny,
this is the first show I've done. I've done theater here in Nashville for 50 years, but not jumping ahead to the show that much yet, but this is a role that at my age, there are not many roles left that I haven't played or want to play. And this is one that I've had my eye on for a long time. And when this opportunity came up, I jumped at it, but it's really hard. A lot of the theaters have gone on, and at the last minute, they've decided to do their, I know you did a thing on Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
That just closed right before we did. But I know some shows have put their actors in masks, clear face masks to protect them from each other and the audience. We had to prove proof of vaccination and or a negative COVID test before we could even audition for this show. And they're very, very health conscious at the Keaton and at that venue. They're very, masks are strongly suggested to be worn.
Sure.
And it's a dinner theater, so you can't really eat through a mask. So
that's right. There you have it. All right. It starts this weekend at Larry Keaton Theater in Donaldson, part of the 54 Donaldson Station there that's going on Golden Pond. Now, usually when there's a play, there's a bunch of people. There's only like 4 or 5 people in this, right?
6 cast members.
6 cast members.
Yep.
That is unique, and I think that's not just more difficult, but I think it allows us as the audience to really get into these characters.
The writing is brilliant. I mean, it's won every award there is, I guess, over the years for the stage production as well as the movie. It just is an award-winning look at when Ernest Thompson wrote this. He was very young. He was like late 20s or 30 maybe when he wrote the play. So it's unusual that he had such a grasp on growing old, and he must have had some people in his life. I haven't seen anything about it on his history, but he had to have been around some people. My parents both passed away within the last 2 years, and they were in their 90s. So Norman Thayer, my character, is he has a touch of dementia. He's his wife will say, "Oh, I saw Charlie," and he's like, "Who's Charlie?" Our mailman for 48 years, that's who Charlie is. But that's, I'm playing my dad, in many ways.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? So for those who saw the movie, you're playing the Henry Fonda character, correct?
Right.
All right. So let me ask you this, Danny, you're playing your dad. That's, if you've lost in the last 2 years, is it therapeutic in a way? Is it emotional in a way?
Yes. And yes. We have, I brought, my house is an old cabin over here in Madison on the river, and it's loaded with this chair you see right here was my mom and dad's living room chair that they bought in 1947 when they got married. So my house is full of artifacts from my history, both sides of my family. And I was allowed to bring things in to put on the set. The fire screen in front of the fireplace and the fire tools on the set were mom and dad's. There's pictures on the walls that came from my parents and even my great grandmother's house. So it helps me to get into the character when I'm on the set and I see things that, and my dad and I could pass for twin brothers if we were the same age. So the old pictures of me on the set are actually my dad.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's one of mom and dad with a fishing pole down by the Harpeth River, and it just kind of makes it feel real to me.
That's fantastic. All right. So On Golden Pond, taking place, starts this weekend at the Larry Keaton Theater in Donaldson. And Dan, let me ask you, when you're playing a role like this, is it good or bad to watch the movie? I know it's a play, but is it good or bad to watch a play if you're acting, if you're doing a play based off the movie and a book?
Most directors will tell you do not watch the movie. Just don't, because you'll tend to then want to imitate Henry Fonda or imitate Katharine Hepburn. And so it's kind of a tricky thing. I've been acting for a long, long time. And so I know if I want to watch that, like for instance, I did watch the movie just to see how Henry Fonda, not to give it away, but he has a health scare in the movie toward the end of the show. He's not well. And I'd never seen anybody go through that with chest pains and all that. I mean, I had blood clots this past winter, which is what almost killed me, but from COVID. So I know what that feels like to have those pains. But I wanted to see how Fonda, who did have heart problems, how he played that and make it real. So, but I couldn't imitate Henry Fonda if I wanted to. I wish I could, but I can't. But it just makes it a little more real to me. Now the director would say, you shouldn't have done that. He wouldn't, but it's not encouraged, but it's kind of hard not to. And that's also, it's one of my very favorite movies. I've watched it. I've seen it 24 times over the years.
You know, Danny, I did the story of Mamma Mia, and thank you for mentioning that earlier. And those shows were sold out, and you guys will sell out shows and everything. But, when you do a musical like Mamma Mia, there's a lot of laughter, a lot of dancing, a lot of jubilance that's happening. When you're doing On Golden Pond, there's a lot of emotion that you and the other 5 cast members have to bring every single night. I got to think this is not easy to do.
Well, and also what people don't realize until they see the play, if they're only familiar with the movie, the play is hilarious. Norman he's a character. He is truly a character. His wife, Ethel, even says at one point, I look like an old character. And he says, you are an old character. There's so many funny lines. Norman, again, he reminds me of my dad. My dad would say things like that. And he was very witty, and my mom too. They both were extremely quick with a one-liner. And so that's the way I was raised. But the cast in the show, Pat Rulon, who's playing my wife, Ethel, we've been married for almost 50 years. Pat and I have been in shows together for almost 30 years.
Wow.
The director, Greg Grimsley, and the guy that plays our daughter's boyfriend is played by Charles Howard. Charles, we call him Chaz. Chaz and Greg and I did a production of On Golden Pond in 1988 in Goodlettsville at Mansker Players. So this is a reunion 33 years later for the three of us. And then Keith Hardy, who works at Donaldson and with the Keaton Theater, he does the audio. He's playing Charlie the Mailman, which is
nice.
A beautifully written role. Then we have Kim Kinsley playing our daughter. And in the movie, there's a young boy, this teenage boy that comes in. He's 13. Greg cast that as a girl. So we have Billie, Billie, as this young girl that Norman kind of takes under his wing and tries to get her out of the whole California teen mindset. Right. Also, we're setting the play in 1995, so there's no cell phones or that sort of thing. But it's just a really, really tight cast, and we've gotten so close. Pat and I get emotional every night.
Wow.
I mean, there's certain times where the emotion just is there, and because we know each other so well, it just feels like family. The whole cast does.
Friday night, it debuts at Larry Keaton Theater on Golden Pond. And Larry, you still get, Larry Keaton Theater. Danny, you still get a little nervous before you go on Butterflies?
Always. I think if I didn't, I would be nervous about that. I've done, this is my 7th show in that space on that stage over the years. And there are not many stages in Nashville I haven't been on, but I always get this feeling, and this week especially, we call it Hell Week because that's when they're trying to set your lights, and they'll say, stand over here, and you're working with these mics we wear on our tape to our face, which I hate, but in that space, it just helps. I can say the more intimate lines more softly, and you're heard well. So, but I always get butterflies. Yeah, they're a real part of it.
Well, let's hope for great shows, sold out shows, everything, because we need community theater after what we went through in 2020 for everybody to come by and embrace that. Danny, thank you so much. It debuts this weekend on Golden Pond. I appreciate you and your acting service and what you do for the community. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for asking me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Danny Proctor on Golden Pond, taking place this week at the Larry Keaton Theater in Dallas. To get tickets, those shows are always fantastic. And they always sell Mamma Mia, which they did a few weeks ago there, sold out shows, dinner theater. And as we told you during Mamma Mia, the Larry Keaton Theater is the only, from what I've gathered in my research, it's the only dinner theater in Middle Tennessee. Now, some plays might serve dinner, but not for all of them. And maybe it's a one-time thing, but it's the only dinner theater after Chaffin's Barn had to close last year, which broke my heart. So it's the only dinner theater around. So make it a fun time if you go out there, because it's always good. All right, we'll take another break. Come back. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Burton. I'm the head baseball coach here at Reinhardt University in Georgia, and just want to take this time to congratulate Coach Hunt on 41 years of baseball and gets the chance to be the assistant athletic director at Cumberland. And I know everybody there is thrilled to death to still have you. And I just want to say how much I value our friendship, your mentorship, our weekly conversations, and those are things that I'll never take for granted. And I just want to wish you nothing but the best. And so excited for you and your family as Ryan gets a chance to start his head coaching career at Cumberland. But most importantly, just wanted to say thank you and how much you mean to me and others there. We really appreciate the things that you do for the game of baseball. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Mornings on Main Street. We are here. There we go. How are we? The electricity of downtown Nashville's come out this way to Wilson County and happening there. All right, so we're good to go.
Thank you, Danny Proctor, for joining us. Talk about the show. We're efforting, which is a great TV word. Miss Cheap right now to come on. She's on vacation, so the fact that she's reaching out to us on vacation is fantastic. She's doing it. Her article came out today. It's in Main Street, Nashville. It's about saving money at the grocery stores. And we good. Intern, do you mind pulling that? There she is. How are you, Cheap?
Good morning.
Great to see you there. Thank you so much. And look, you're such a sweetheart. You're on vacation. Thank you for joining us.
Well, I'm glad to talk to you. I always like to talk to you, especially about groceries.
Yes. All right. The article came out. We've pulled it up. We're going to pull up here in just a moment, but the groceries. And in this time, what just a more relevant topic than saving money at the grocery store, is it not?
Well, I think everybody's talking about it. It looks like things have gone way up, and it seems like, it's like sticker shock that you get to the checkout and go, whoa, this is a lot of money for this little basket of food. But I think there are some ways people can save, and I know I'm trying to, because I just hate to spend more than I have to.
All right, so let's start with the list that you got there. And funny, I should say it, shop with a list, right?
Right. And that I know that sounds boring and people don't like to do it, but I keep my list on my phone, and that way I can add to it during the week and try not to go into the grocery more than once a week. And I try to make my list based on what the flyers show, the loss leaders. And if you see at Kroger or Publix or wherever you shop, if you see that pork is on sale this week or that hamburgers on sale, that's the week to have it. You don't plan your menu around what you just kind of want to have. I think it's much better to plan it with the deals in mind. And then I also think you should plan it with like to have leftovers. I like to plan to make enough tonight for tomorrow night too, or to have enough left to take for lunch, or to have things that are left over that are not going to cost me any more than making it the first time.
Miss Cheap, I'm looking, and it's like you're following me around the grocery store, because the number 2 thing you say is like, take time to make your list in a way that creates a full week's worth of meals. Don't pop in for a few things every day or two. And I am guilty of doing that. And I need to stop doing that, don't I?
Well, people say that if the people who shop without a list, they tend to spend a huge percent more than people who shop with a list.
Right.
And I think that's true. I mean, you're going down the aisle kind of willy-nilly and seeing something that looks pretty good or that you might want to try. But if you stick with the list, you're just going to come out a lot better, I think.
I love this as well. It says you're tied to a few brands like Hellmann's mayonnaise and Heinz ketchup, but for other stuff, napkins, frozen vegetables, dairy products, go for the store brand. Why?
Well, the store brands are generally cheaper, and most of the stores, if you don't like their brand, if you get home and don't like it, you can bring it back and get your money back, or sometimes you get the name brand free. But I just feel like, a lot of it pays to look at the price. The unit price on the shelf is something to look at, even with the store brands. But I think almost always the store brands are going to be a bit cheaper than the national brands. And sometimes you just have to, like I like the Hellmann's mayonnaise. But I'm going to save somewhere else to make up for it, I think.
Good for you. Do you find that when researching this that we're lazy when it comes to shopping in our preparation and what we do?
Oh, I think so too. It's a matter of time. And I think with all these shopping apps and things, that it's much easier now to be organized and to try to make the most of your time in the grocery and your money. I'm not a big one to have things delivered, and I think most everybody that I know is having the delivery services, and you pay a little bit for that. But I think there you're probably saving too, by not taking the kids with you to the grocery, by not having the impulse purchases, and by just having the list that you get somebody else to fulfill.
Again, I think you're following me around the grocery store, because you see, I love that Kroger has the place with the markdown for produce. You got wonderful cantaloupe there for 99 cents. I do the same thing, Miss Cheap, the exact same thing.
Well, I love that part of Kroger, and it's in a different spot in each Kroger, so you have to look for it. But they almost always have something in there that's reduced to 99 cents. And it might be 4 apples that you could get for 99 cents instead of paying $2.49 a pound for them. Or it might be a whole bag of lemons, or the cantaloupe was a real find, I must say, because
Right.
usually they're going to be $2.99 or more.
You know what? As I read down, and I love this, is check out what your fellow shoppers are buying, because I will do that too. If I'm at the store and there's a product, I see somebody buy something, I'm like, hey, what'd you think about that? Or did you like that? And I always get an honest reply back. It's like, you know what? No, not really. Or like, we absolutely love that. What a great idea. For me, it's a little bit like stalking, but that's okay, because you find out what people are buying, what they like and don't like.
Well, I particularly like to do that at stores that I don't shop very frequently. Like if I go to Trader Joe's, I love to go to Trader Joe's. They have just such unusual things, but I like to see what other shoppers are buying and ask them about them. I never would have known about the little miniature ice cream cones they have. Have you had those? I mean, they are unbelievable at Trader Joe's.
Right. That's great.
They were in another shopper's cart, I have to say.
Also, the technology now that we're doing, download those apps too as well, because you'll find great discounts there.
Well, I think you do. And, I'm still couponing with clipped out coupons, but I also download coupons on my phone, and it really can make a difference. And, the best deals are if you can shop a store where they have buy one, get one free, like Publix has a lot of buy one, get one free deals. And then if you have a coupon for it too, you're even better off, because you're sort of piggybacking the coupon on top of the buy one, get one free. And a lot of people don't realize that at Publix, in the Nashville market, the buy one, get one free is essentially a half price deal. In Publix other markets, you have to buy two to get the deal. But in Nashville, you can, if they've got buy one, get one free cartons of ice cream, you can just buy one and have it half price. And, cherry picking those deals is one of my tricks too. I love doing that. I love looking at my receipt and seeing how much I've saved wherever I go.
Right. I was at the summer at the Donaldson Kroger, and it was kind of crowded, but there was a lady that had a ton of coupons, and she apologized to people behind us that like, hey, I've got these, and nobody got them. They're all like, wow, coupons are still a thing. And so the line started talking about coupons, and they've never really gone away, have they?
Well, they haven't. They're not quite as popular as they used to be, but I will tell you that if you see me in the grocery store, if you see me in the line, don't get behind me, because I take a little bit of time to check out. I'm always watching the register too, to make sure that everything rings up right, because if it doesn't, most of the stores will make it right. So that's another thing. Sometimes I don't think it's their fault, but I think sometimes if it rings up wrong, you get the item free. I mean, come on. I love that.
Oh, what a great idea. Yeah, you always check your receipts, because you're exactly right with that. And then you go back, and stores always make it correct for when you go back. So I love it. Miss Cheap, you're the best. And again, I know you're on vacation. Thank you for doing this, because your articles have never been more, they're always been fantastic, but they've never been more relevant than they are right now, saving us all money. So thank you so much. Have fun on your vacation.
If people have other ideas for saving money at the grocery, please email me, because I love to hear from people's, and I love other people's ideas, because everybody's pretty smart these days.
And then, do you want to give out the email address?
Yes, it's Miss Cheap at mainstreetmediatn.com.
Miss Cheap at mainstreetmediatn.com. Thank you, ma'am. Safe travels. We'll see you next week.
All right, stay cheap.
All right, there we go. Yes, got to stay cheap. All right. Kudos to Justin, our producer. We've had a lot of things that are going, not bad, good things, but just kind of moving people around, shuffling the deck. And Justin, you've done fantastic. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the Tuesday edition of Mornings on Main Street.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Ryan. I'm the co-owner of Zaxby's along with Lee Oliver. And we have owned this Lebanon Zaxby's, had it open almost 17 years now. We've been really excited to be in the community and be a part of the Zaxby's family. And we're most excited about how the community has supported us over these 17 years. One of the things that we have always prided ourselves on here at Zaxby's is this is a place that mamas and daddies can be really comfortable to send their kids to for a first job, or if you're coming in for another job. It's a place that is a family environment. It's owned by folks that are family, and it's a place that you can have fun, feel really good about the place that you work, get paid well, have a good time. So we love it when we get some great folks here at Zaxby's. If you want to apply, you can go to applynow.com, and Zaxby's will be on there, or you can come here to the store. We've got all kinds of ways that you can use your phone to apply as well.
I would rather cover, and I get this all the time, a high school football game between, I don't know, McGavick High School and Stratford than go to a Titans game. I can get a Titans video. I can get Titans news anywhere. ESPN.com. I can get all that stuff. But I can't get a McGavick versus Stratford neighborhood football game anywhere. People want to read that.
I'm deeply honored to be here. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take some questions. And yes, it is now my mission to end littering in Tennessee. Am I real because you don't see my mouth moving? Well, you hear me, right? So yes, I'm real. And I don't have a mouth because I'm a cow. 100 million pieces of litter at any given time on our roadways. Now you know why I'm doing the show. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for the whole state. Join the movement. Make me proud.
Welcome back to the final moments here of Morning on Main Street. We close out, as we do, with celebrity birthdays with the intern. Intern, are you ready for this today?
I am ready. Yes, sir.
All right, actor Jon Favreau. Now, the game is, friends, if you just joined us, the intern's got to get the birthdays within 2 years. So actor Jon Favreau, who produced or directed the Iron Man movies and a few other things.
All right, I'm going to go off the rip. 54.
55. Fantastic, my man.
How about that? That's 2 days in a row. If anybody's counting.
Chris Kattan from Saturday Night Live.
Chris Kattan, Saturday Night Live. Let's do 37.
He is 51. So not bad. You're getting close there. Let's go down a few others. Oh, she lives in Donaldson. Singer Jeannie C. Riley.
Oh, Jeannie. We hang out all the time. Jeannie. Let's do 42.
Ooh, almost. She's 76. Nashville talk show legend Charlie Chase. How old is Charlie Chase?
Charlie Chase is 61.
69. You're getting better. All right. The show Extreme Makeover, Ty Pennington. How old is Ty?
Is he the move that bus guy?
That's him. Yep.
Oh, man. I grew up on that guy. Let's do, even though he looks good for his age, we'll do 59.
57. You got it within 2.
Two
well
in
done.
1 day.
You've done really good, man. I'm proud of you. Let's give you one more out the door here we go. The co-creator of South Park, Trey Parker.
Ooh, let's do 43.
52. That's your celebrity birthdays. Not bad, intern. Did a fantastic job.
Thanks, man.
Kudos to you, man. With everything going on the side, you did a great job today. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, very well. In case you're joining us, we'll reshare the show this morning. You can see, thanks to Terry McCormick, Danny Proctor, Mary Hance for joining us and for the Something to Smile About segment we had for you. Thank you all for watching. Back tomorrow, another fun show right here. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.